That's spongy. Oh yeah. And that's the reason why. Yuck. Look at that coming out of there. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs water. When brake fluid absorbs water, it actually lowers the boiling point of the brake fluid, and that usually leads to a spongy brake, leads to corrosion in the lines, sticking calipers, and usually destroying the ABS system. Most manufacturers recommend changing it every 2 to 3 years, or up to 30,000 miles, something like that. You can see how dirty that is, and when you see the old stuff come out and the new stuff go in, you'll see why. If you're new to bleeding brakes yourself, what you would have is somebody sitting in the car, pumping up the brake pedal till they have pressure. Somebody else goes to the caliper, opens up the bleeder screw, lets some fluid and air and everything out, and the person inside the car, the pedal will go down to the floor, and you try to stop that bleeder screw before the pedal hits the bottom. Ideally, because if it hits the bottom, it has the opportunity to introduce air, also can push the proportioning valve one side or the other. Anyway, it's a bad idea for the pedal to hit all the way to the floor. But what if there was a system that could actually allow you to do all 4 brakes by yourself and bleeds all 4 at the exact same time? So I was sent this Ancel pulsating brake fluid exchange machine. Long word for this thing sends a pulse, and you can decide what pulsing action you want to be able to push through old air, old fluid, and through the ABS passages without having to use a scan tool on most cars. I'm sure there's a car out there that requires a scan tool also, but this allows you to do it by yourself. And this will fit a lot of cars, including the 2006 Acura that we're getting ready to do this on. These are all your adapters. These adapters fit all of the master cylinders on all of these cars. I can go through this list, but it'll be a while. So most likely we're going to be using adapter number 5, which is the Honda adapter, but this does a whole lot of cars. And adapter number 5 should be that one right there. The idea is we're going to fill up this jug right here with new fluid, set it over here. We're going to put this hose down into there. It came with 4 of these jugs. We're going to take each jug and attach this little push-on onto the bleeder screws. This right here is going to collect the old fluid. We're going to hook up this adapter right here onto here, and we're going to extend this out and hook it up to the top of the master cylinder. And then we're going to grab these 2 clamps and go straight to the car battery. It's going to use the car battery to pulse fluid from this jug into the machine, out this hose, into the master cylinder. It's going to go through the brake system and then get collected inside these jugs. And like I said, all 4 at one time if you want to. And the genius part about this kit, since I can reach through the wheel to get to the calipers, I can hook up all of these with the car still sitting on the ground. Not even have to put it up in the air, not even have to take the wheels off of it. I'm going to show you how to do that. But the idea behind this, if you're on a lift, you would hang this on the frame, and this right here would be hanging down underneath the wheel, and you could watch it underneath the car fill up. But you have the ability of doing this in your own driveway. Let's finish unpacking everything. I'm probably going to recap, save these bags and recap these just to keep down on the mess. This hose is plenty long that if you were sitting up on a lift, you could have this machine probably sitting on the table beside you and control it without having to leave it up on top of the car. So you would just extend these power leads, and then this right here is the adapter that's going to plug right into there. So quick connect. Let's get it filled up with fluid, bleed the air out of the lines, go to the car, and hook up these bottles to each one of the wheels. You can see the difference in the fluid color compared to what you saw in the master cylinder over there. Got the battery leads hooked up to the battery. That powered up the unit. Right now we're sitting at pulse of number 1. We can increase it to pulse 2 or 3. So these are the different pulses that you can do. Let's try 3. And then you've got your timer that it'll run for. And right now 15 minutes is what the default was. So we'll set that. And what we're looking for when we turn this on is we want to be about 1.5 pounds. So we're going to keep that gauge kind of low. And then you can adjust the pressure with these buttons right here. So let's bleed the air out of the system. I'll hook this up, set it over the top of a waste container, and let's tell it to start. So it's counting down. Let's increase our pressure so you guys can see it. Let's increase our pressure. Let's stop that. We bled the air out of it. We're going to have more pressure once we hook it up to the system here. Take the master cylinder cap off, and we should be able to set that right on there. So right now we've got new fluid ready to go into the system. Let's get the wheels hooked up, all the waste containers hooked up to the wheels, and crack those open. All right, I've got all 4 bottles hooked up. So I was able to get fluid as soon as I cracked them loose from 3 of the 4 wheels. This wheel here did not, and this is the one that was missing the rubber cap on top of the bleeder screw. So it might have some dirt in it. What we're going to do is turn this on, and we're going to watch the fluid coming out and see. Yeah, just gravity alone has got this one starting to collect some really nasty fluid. So let's turn this on and watch this fluid. Can y'all see that? Watch this fluid start coming out. So I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to be watching those 4 jugs. And as soon as any one of them starts running clear, I'm going to use my 10mm wrench, and I'm going to go ahead and snug up that fitting and leave the bottle sitting right where it's at. The idea is that we want to get clear fluid running to each one of those bottles. Go ahead and turn it on. We're going to be watching our gauge. We only want 1.5 pounds. Okay. It's actually under that. I didn't have the cap on tight enough, so the first time I turned it on, I saw the air bubbles coming out of the top of the cap, and it started leaking. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. What I'm looking for is to keep this about 1.5 pounds. See the 0 and the 2? I want to be somewhere between 1 and 2. I'm going to try to set this for 15 minutes, and we're going to use pulse number 3 on there. So my pressure's coming up a little bit, so let's turn it down. There we go. Yuck. Look at that coming out of there. I'm going to watch it until it starts running clear. Yep, this one's not flowing, so I'm sure I'm going to have a problem there. And this one's flowing a lot, so we'll go ahead and lock that one down. All right, the 2 front wheels got clear fluid now, dirty fluid. That one, the fluid's running clear. Dirty fluid down there. Yep, all of them have clear fluid, all the dirty fluid out there, but that back wheel there still hasn't been flowing. I think we're going to shut it off, take the bleeder completely out, and see if it's plugged. So let's press the pressure relief. See it draining back. So we have no pressure. And I'm going to go take off that rear bleeder. All the other 3 are locked. All right, this was the bleeder. Here's a prime example of too much moisture in there. See all the rust? This one didn't have a cap on the end of it either. Let me see if I have another bleeder screw. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it right there. All right, made my repair. Instead of having to go call the wife again, let's just turn it on. I might need to open up that bleeder a little bit. Oh, it might have just broke loose. Let's go see. Oh yeah, she's starting to push fluid out. It's slow, but it's coming out. There we go. I hear it now. Just loosen it up just a hair. And I hear it draining. There we go. That finally started working. Yeah, so we did a brake repair at the same time. I'll let that run for just a little bit longer. Let's make sure we don't get any air in the system. I might add some more fluid to this thing. Oh yeah, she's running clean now. All right, so I just hit the stop relief pressure. It's basically bled down. Bleds down for 10 seconds. Takes the pressure off the lines. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and disconnect our power source. You don't necessarily have to. I just feel like it's in the way. We should be able to disconnect our bleeder or our quick connect because there wasn't any pressure in the line. Keep in mind that this should stop the fluid, this quick connect, but just keep it in a place where it won't get on the paint. Let's take off the cap. Look at the brake fluid now. It's a little bit over full, so I'm going to use a turkey baster and get it out of there, but look at the color of the fluid now. Yep, that's my max line right there. All right, let's check the pedal now. Oh yeah, much firmer. All right, with brake fluid on paint is corrosive, so make sure that if you get it on paint, you rinse it off with water and soapy water as fast as you can, because brake fluid is corrosive. This is what came out of the wheels. This one is the one that I had to change the bleeder screw on, so I lost quite a bit onto a rag in the driveway before I started getting good fluid, but it was going to look like this most likely. But yeah, this is what came out of the brake lines, not the master cylinder, and this is what the new fluid was. So this is what I was pushing out into the other wheels. You're supposed to do basically the furthest from the master cylinder first, so passenger rear is usually the most common, and then driver side rear, and then passenger front, and then driver side front. But realistically, you saw this machine can do all four wheels at one time. Once you've got it all hooked up, you can literally adjust, open and close the bleeder screws with a open-end wrench with these things attached. Nice, neat, no mess usually, unless you have a bleeder screw problem like I did. And when you're tightening up this cap, the problem that I had was I didn't tighten it up all the way. And so when I first turned it on, it filled up the master cylinder too much and started running out the side. So always clean up any kind of a spill that you might have. Check for pedal firmness when you're done. And then finally, look for any kind of leaks when you're done in case you miss tightening up something. Always go back and check. Make sure everything is cleaned up. Use brake clean to get rid of any kind of excess fluid. Make sure nothing's leaking after that. And you should be good to go. If you do a lot of brake bleeds, or if you've just got several cars and you want to save yourself some money, this is a really wise investment because the machine will pay for itself over the course of several vehicle maintenance services. So every 2 to 3 years, you have to do this in every one of your cars. You got several cars, and instead of taking it to a shop and you want to do it yourself, this is how you would do it. This was the Ancel BR2000 Elite. Made really fast work of it, and I didn't even use a lift. Matter of fact, I never even jacked the car up. I was able to just lay down beside it. Just make sure your emergency brake is set and make sure you have a wheel chock. Like I said, these are all the vehicles that you can do with it. My only complaint would be I wish that there was some instructions that came with it. I don't know if because this was sent as a review, if it doesn't come with instructions, but it was pretty easy to find the instructions. Fill this up with brake fluid, bleed the air out of the system like you saw me do into a waste container. Once the air is bled out, hook it up. Connect these to all of your bleeder screws. Usually you have to crack them loose first and then hook it on, and then you'll lose a little bit. Hook all those on, turn on the machine, set your pressure, and then just keep an eye on all the jugs. If one of them's filling up too fast, either close it down, snug it up, or when you see that fluid start to run clean coming into those hoses, it doesn't look like that. It looks like this coming out of the hose. That one's done. Go ahead and lock it off, and it'll just keep bleeding all the rest of them. Hope this helps maintain your fleet, keeps your family safe. Make sure you use the right dot for your vehicle, just check and see if it's supposed to be .3, .4, synthetic, conventional, whatever. And that's pretty much it. It's super easy. Game changer, time saver. Yeah, love it. And then just recycle the old fluid. I usually put it with my oil, and they take it that way. Hope you all got something out of the video. Really appreciate you hanging out. Check out those Ancel BR2000 Elites. They're actually pretty cool. I'll catch you guys on the next one.